Hi, everyone. My name is Paramveer Dhillon, and I'm an assistant professor at the University of Michigan. Today, I'm going to present our Chi paper on how different scaffolding levels can be used to shape human-AI collaboration in co-writing. So as we all know, AI-based transformation is all around us, from fields such as healthcare to art to education. In this work, we focus on the task of co-writing with AI. And moreover, we think of AI as an active collaborator in the process of writing. So some of the potential benefits of focusing on AI based writing assistance is that this can be used to get enhanced productivity and personalized writing support, which could help all humankind. So, co-writing with AI, there's been lots of work on AI-based writing assistance, and some of the early work focused on word level and phrase level support. However, these approaches decrease user satisfaction and efficiency. So recently, people have focused on more complex tasks such as story writing, journalistic ideation, and so on. However, all these research papers, they do not put the humans at the center of the co-writing process, right? And as recently has been shown in this work by Amershi et al., that user agency, transparency, and adaptability are important for effective human-AI collaboration. So the question arises, how can we best structure the use of AI tools such as ChatGPT, and Claude, such that users retain the control of the writing and they also get the right level of adaptive support that can maximize their productivity. So to be more concrete, our research questions are, what granularity of AI support is most effective for writing, maximizing writing quality, productivity, and user experience? And in particular, we considered two different levels of AI based support. We considered next sentence suggestions and next paragraph suggestions. So the second research question, we are interested in which user groups, based on their writing experience and the tech savviness, would benefit the most from AI-based assistance in co-writing. So before we go into the details of our study, I want to give you a results preview. So we found a U-shaped impact of AI scaffolding on writing quality and productivity. Sentence level suggestions, that is low scaffolding, it decreased writing quality and productivity. And potentially, one of the mechanisms for this could be that sentence level suggestions are disruptive and they disrupt the flow and the coherence of the writer. On the other hand, paragraph level suggestions, that is high level scaffolding, improved writing quality and productivity, right? So in all these conditions, the no AI support condition was the baseline condition. Okay, and further, we see differential impacts across different users. So non-regular writers were able to unlock the power of AI and saw notable improvements in writing quality with paragraph level AI support. However, the basic tech users, people who were not tech savvy, their writing quality decreased with sentence level suggestions. And in some of our interviews, the user suggested that it might be due to the fact that those suggestions were disruptive. So we performed a within subjects field experiment with 131 participants, and we had three conditions: the no AI condition, which is the control condition, then sentence level suggestions or low scaffolding condition, and then finally paragraph level suggestions or high scaffolding condition. And we used Latin square design to control for order effects. Participants were exposed to all the three conditions, but in a different order. Okay, so in total, we had three sequences. In sequence number one, the no AI control was the first condition in the sequence, followed by sentence, followed by paragraph. And then in sequence two, it was paragraph, no, and sentence. And in the third one, it was sentence, paragraph, and no AI. So note that all the three conditions occur at all the different positions, that is position 1, 2, and 3. This is what we mean by the Latin square design, which controls order effects. So the writing tasks that we used for our work were argumentative writing tasks, like used by the co-author paper by Lee et al. And another important thing worth noting is that all the participants got different prompts as they proceeded along a sequence. So a participant moving from a no help to sentence to paragraph condition would get like 3 different prompts during the experiment. This helps us actually capture the impact of these conditions on writing quality and ensures that there is no learning, or users are not learning on how to respond to a prompt as they move along our experimental conditions. So here is how our custom built AI co-writing tool looked like. So as you can see, there is a prompt at the top, and then users had to write about 250 words, and as they would start writing, they would get suggestions and so on. So so our co-writing tool had a GPT-3 backend, which was the state of the art when the study was started around mid 2022. In terms of interaction details, users got 5 suggestions in all the conditions, the next sentence or next paragraph condition, and they could select one of the suggestions, or they can ignore all of them and continue writing. And users had to write a minimum of 200 words for each prompt. So we hired a diverse participant pool from the employees of a university health system because we found it to be a higher quality pool that we can monitor closely compared to hiring participants from an online crowd platform. Our study proceeded in 2 steps. In stage 1, we did a pre-screening task to judge the basic writing skills of our participant pool, and then screened participants were moved to the main experiment. So in the main experiment, we did live Zoom sessions with close monitoring and screen sharing. And importantly, we had performance-based compensation in the main experiment. So every participant got a base compensation of $10, but if they got if their output of their writing was very high, right? So they would proportionally get an additional bonus from $1 to $9. So in total, a participant like who wrote a very high quality essay for our prompt could get like 10 plus 9, $19. So now let's look at some of the key variables and measurements in our study. So we looked at text quality, and we had like human ratings, which would rate the content, conciseness, and quality of arguments. Plus, we also use some automated metrics such as the famous Taco and Thales measures. Then we also looked at the number of edits and the number of errors made by the writers. And next, we also looked at some emotional and cognitive investment variables such as user satisfaction, ownership, and cognitive load. And finally, we also looked at productivity, words per unit time, or influence. How much was the response of the users influenced by AI suggestions? So here is the model that we ran to identify the impact of AI scaffolding on writing outcomes. So what we see in terms of results, as I briefly alluded to earlier, we see a U-shaped relationship between the granularity of AI support and writing quality or productivity. That is, low-level scaffolding, next sentence suggestion, led to decreased writing quality by 0.29 points. However, it had no significant impact on productivity. On the other hand, high-level scaffolding led to improved writing quality. And it also led to a slightly increased productivity. So users were able to write 0.07 words per unit time more in the high scaffolding condition. And AI assistance also affected user experience. So there was a moderate decrease in user satisfaction. So the decrease in user satisfaction was more in the sentence condition. And there was also a reduced sense of ownership. And the ownership reduced more in the paragraph condition because the users were getting such giant blocks of text that they were trying to assimilate into their writing that they felt that they did not own the final piece of text that came as the output. However, no significant changes were observed in cognitive load across all the conditions. So next, let's look at the differential impact of AI scaffolding on users. So first of all, we see that as far as writing expertise is considered as concerned, non-regular writers benefited the most from paragraph level conditions because it provided them such an adaptive framework for their writing, so which improved their writing quality. However, regular writers only saw a very slight quality increase with paragraph level AI support, and a bit surprisingly, professional writers' quality was not significantly impacted by AI. So partly the reason for this is that the professional writers were so adept at writing that they felt that the AI based suggestions were an impediment and they were hindering the flow of their writing. So they chose to use very little AI support. So next, we also looked at tech savviness. So users with no prior tech experience benefited the most from paragraph level AI condition. And sentence level AI condition decreased writing quality of users who had very basic tech expertise, and that is who were not highly tech savvy people. And finally, AI conditions led to slightly more spelling errors for regular and professional writers because they were in autopilot mode. So there were a few errors that crept in and they only discovered later on, and they were not able to correct. So next, let's look at what's the positional impact of AI scaffolding on users. So remember that we performed a within subjects experiment. So each user was exposed to all the three conditions. So we can look at the sequential impact of AI exposure. So what we find is that the quality of text improved as users progress through the conditions, right? So there is some potentially familiarity with the UI that's happening. Next, interestingly, we find that transitioning from sentence level to paragraph level condition was beneficial. Okay, so this is an interesting finding because this shows that this could be a potential learning effect of AI use, so that now people are used to getting some scaffolding, some support from AI, and when that support increases, that is from sentence to a paragraph level, their quality actually improved. And finally, when we move from paragraph level to sentence level condition, that is the level of support that users were getting decreased, the quality also decreased. So this suggests that users developed a potential over reliance of high level high level AI support. That is, too much AI support could be more like a crutch, and it could impact the final quality of the end product of writing. So now let's try to zoom in on some of the potential mechanisms and implications for human AI co-writing. So this important finding that we have regarding U-shaped impact of AI scaffolding. So as I briefly alluded to earlier, so this could be due to the sentence level suggestions being too disruptive, right? As the users need to constantly switch between writing text and evaluating AI input, right? However, paragraph level conditions provide a structured yet adaptable framework. They allow users to maintain a cohesive narrative while benefiting from AI support, which gave them high quality points. But things are not as rosy. There's a double-edged sword of AI assistance. So AI assistance does enhance writing quality and productivity, especially in the paragraph condition, but it may reduce user satisfaction and ownership. Okay, so it highlights the need to balance efficiency with user agency and creativity. And our results also highlight the importance of adaptive personalized AI supports. They show that one size fits all solutions for AI based co-writing assistants are not good, that we need tools that are potentially personalized to cater to different users' needs and proficiencies. Okay. And as we show in the paper, you could potentially tailor AI assistance tools based on user experience and their tech savviness. And another possibility is to gradually adjust AI involvement as users develop their skills and confidence and become more familiar with the AI tools. So we also have some implications for designing human-centered AI co-writing tools. So we suggest that one should be flexible, user-controlled scaffolding options. Okay, and we should provide transparency about AI contributions so that users maintain a sense of trust and ownership on the final end product. And we should integrate features that encourage active user participation and reflection. So that would keep them engaged. And we should continuously assess and adapt AI support based on user performance and feedback. Finally, thank you. And please feel free to send us an email if you have any questions or suggestions regarding our project. Thank you.